Hey everybody, all right, it's time to hunt some nickels. I've got a $200 bag of nickels here from my bank's coin machine. We have not hunted nickels yet from the coin machine. We've hunted everything else, and those have been some pretty good hunts, so I'm expecting a good hunt here. So let me slice the top open, grab a handful. I'll start the hunt and come back when I've got something good. Handful number one, we've just gotten started and we've already got a couple of finds here. 1941 out of Philly. And then as I flattened them down in the back, I saw 1951 out of Philly as well. So that's pretty sweet. Two finds, first handful. Maybe this will be a really sweet hunt. First handful again towards the back here is a 1959 out of Denver. Handful number three, and I've got a 1955D, and it looks like it may be the D over S. Let me show you on the scope here. There we go. The backside is worn. You can actually see kind of like a ring of death over here, but right up top there looks like the S. Normally the S would come down through here, but I don't see anything in the middle, but that is raised metal. So if you've ever seen one of these or you know what it looks like, I did check Variety Vista, and it looks like what they have, but I just don't have anything in the middle there, but it could be because it's really old. So let me know what you think in the comments below. All right, back to the hunt. Handful number 8, and I got out the Southern Metal coin roll hunting plate. We've got another 40s nickel, another 1941 out of Philly. Yeah, using the plate is great. It makes it very easy to flip the coins over to check the other side. I highly recommend it. Handful number 10, and we've got a 50s nickel here. 1953 out of Philly. Handful 11, the next handful, we're going to have two finds here. We've got a 1940, not in bad shape either, out of Philly. And then towards the back here, I saw a foreign. It's a Canadian, 1998 Canadian. First foreign of the bag. Same handful, just a few coins later. We've got a 1958 out of Denver. Handful 17, we've got another find. It's a 1954 out of San Fran. Now this does have an S over D, so I'll check that under the scope and come back if we've got one. Handful number 20, got another 50s nickel here, 1959 out of Denver. Handful 24, and we've got another find here, 1940 out of Philly. Handful 26, and we're gonna have another foreign. I flattened them out, and yeah, there we go. You could tell by the edges. United Arab Emirates. I'm guessing this is a 5 whatever. I don't know what currency they use, but that's pretty cool. It's got the oil wells on the back. I don't think we've ever found one of those before, but our second foreign of the bag, we'll take it. Handful 29, and we've got another 1940 out of Philly. That's 3 in a row for the 1940 out of Philly. Same handful a little further down, and I've got a 1941 with some scratchy scratches on it out of Philly. Same handful again, and we've got a 1954 out of Denver. There is a 54 D over D, so I will be checking that, and I'll let you know if we've got one. Handful 33, we've got another 50s here, 1957. Oh, it's got a booger on it. out of Denver. Handful number 36, and I've got something on the scope. Let me show you. So it's a 1964 D, and there is a D over D. This is raised metal, but it doesn't look like any of the pictures that I could find on Variety Vista. Could be a D over D East, but I don't know. If you've seen something like this, or if you think it's a D over D, please leave me a comment below. Handful 38, we've got another 50s here. 1952, out of Denver. Same roll, and we've got a 1941. Will it have a mint mark? No, 1941, out of Philly. That's our third 1941, or maybe fourth. Handful 40, and we're gonna have two finds. Another 1941. Oh, we've got a 1941S. Finally got one with a mint mark. And then as I flatten the coins down, right there, we've got a war nickel out of Denver, 1944. Sweet. Handful 42, and we've got another 50s. 1954, out of Denver. There's a 54 D over D, so I will be checking that, and I'll come back if we've got one. Handful number 50, and we finally have a 40s nickel that is not a 1940 or 41. 1 year off, silver, 1946, out of Philly. And I saw an older looking coin in the back. Yep. It's got some gunk around it. 1954, out of Denver. Now there is a 54 D over D, so I will be checking that, and I'll let you know. Same handful number 50. We've got a 50s nickel. 1959, out of Denver. Handful 53, and we have our first 30s nickel. 1939, but will it have a mint mark? And it does. 1939S. That is sweet. That is a key date, and I do know that Chris, well, I do as well, but we both need one of these for our nickel album. So that is sweet. We're going to have to get a new category for that, maybe right there. Handful 56. We got another 40s nickel that is not a 40 or 41, a 1949 out of Philly. Same handful towards the back, and we've got a 1959 out of Denver. Handful 58, and we've got a 1948 out of Denver. It's a little dirty, but that's all right. Same handful, and we've got a 1954, a little bit of corrosion on it, out of Denver. Handful 57, we've got a 1955. I already know where it's from. I already looked at the back. It is not a 55P. It's a 55 out of Denver. That's a shame. Handful 59. And we're going to have two finds here. Another 1940 out of Philly. And then somewhere in the back here, I saw another one of those United Arab Emirate coins. Those are pretty cool. Handful 61. We've got another 50s here, another 55 out of Denver. Handful 62. 1958 out of Denver. There's a D over D, so I'll be checking that. And if it's there, I'll come back. Handful 69, and we're gonna have silver. It was facing me this way, 1943 out of Philly. So that's our second silver of the bag. That is pretty sweet. Handful 70, and we've got another 50s. 1959 out of Denver. Handful 72. 1958 out of Denver. There's a 58 DVD, so we'll be checking that, and I'll come back if we've got one. Handful 74 towards the bottom of the bag, and we're going to have something right there. It's got a visible date too. We've got a buffalo. 1935. Oh, and it's got a mint mark out of Denver. That is sweet. First buffalo of the bag. Of course, we don't have much bag left, but that is sweet. Handful 76, more or less. We've got a 1947 out of Denver. Same handful, and just a few coins later is a 1948 out of Philly. Roll 80, almost at the end of the bag, and we've got another 1959 out of Denver. Handful 81. We've got another 1955 out of Denver. Handful 83. We've got a 1948 out of Denver. And that's it for the bag. Around 85 handfuls. Not a bad set of finds here. Let me give you a quick recap. We did find a couple possible over mint marks or repunch mint marks on this 64D and this 55D. Let me know if you watch the video, let me know what you think about those. I do have 3 other 1964Ds that might be a D over D. I think I'm going to post those to the community tab to get some input from other people. The video is kind of long enough for me to stop and show those. But as far as finds, we've got 15 from the 40s, 21 from the 50s. We did get one 1998 Canadian and a couple from the United Arab Emirates. Those are pretty cool. And then, of course, we did find one key date, a 1939 out of San Francisco. That is sweet. 2 war nickels, 44 out of Denver and a 43 out of Philly. And then, of course, a 1935 out of Denver. There is a D over D on this one, but the D is so flat you can't really tell anything about that. So, well, that's it for the two box / one bag hunt. If you enjoyed the video, we'd really appreciate a thumbs up. Also, feel free to leave us a comment below, and we'd really appreciate it if you click subscribe. Thanks again for watching, and good luck with your hunts.